Hey guys, it's Josh with WSOTesters.com, and today I'm going to show you how we do backlinking with Magic Submitter to our niche sites. And one thing I should mention is that if you're looking for an in-depth tutorial, Magic Submitter has tons of training videos that you can just check out on their site. So for us, we're just going to give you the general breakdown of what we do for our backlinking. And there's hundreds of different ways that you can do backlinking. This is just how we decided to go with for our particular sites. Anyway, let's get started here. So the first thing that you want to do is, if you're new to Magic Submitter, is you're going to want to create an account. So to create an account, you just click on that button and then click on Fill Profile. After that, we just click on OK, and this is going to instantly build a Hotmail account for us, and also it's going to create some spinnable information. Right here you can see the login is spinnable, and it comes up with all this information that it's going to be using to create a bunch of accounts. Okay, so right away you can see the power of this. You can enter in any URL here, it doesn't really matter. So it doesn't even have to be a real URL. You can just enter something there, and for company, you can just enter something here as well. Alright, when we're done with that, we're just going to click on Save. Now we're ready to start creating accounts. First thing I should mention though is that you're going to want to sign up for a CAPTCHA. Right here, you can see they can use Bypass CAPTCHA, you can use Death by CAPTCHA. This is the one that we decided to go with, was the Death by CAPTCHA. And you do have to pay, it's like a few dollars for, a few hundred or a few thousand solves of the CAPTCHA, which is well worth it. You can do it without it, but it's going to take you a long time just to enter in all these CAPTCHA codes, and it's just a waste of time. So I highly recommend that you sign up for one of these services, and you can just pick whichever one you want. We sign up for a CAPTCHA service, and we created that account. Then we're just going to pick one of these guys right here. So I'm going to start with article directories. I'll right click and I'm just going to select all of them. And from here, all I have to do is click Create Accounts. Right away, you can see just how quickly Magic Submitter is creating these accounts. The green check mark means it's successfully created, and then the X means that an error occurred. If you were to do all of this manually, it would take literally hours just to create these accounts. I've even seen several Fiverr gigs that they probably use either Magic Submitter or they use SE Nuke to create these accounts, and they charge $5 for these guys. And all they had to do was click a button. So pretty sweet deal for those guys that are able to sell that on Fiverr and whatnot. I'll pause the video and pick up when it's finished. Alright, so we're back here, and it's taken about 1 minute and 51 seconds, and Magic Submitter has now created over 60 accounts for us. And now it's asking us if we want to verify the accounts via email. So I'm just going to go ahead and click yes, and this is going to take another minute or two to verify the emails and complete the creation of the accounts. Alright, so it looks like we're all done here. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to go to the bookmarking services, and then we're going to do the exact same thing. We're going to create accounts here, and then we're going to create accounts for for blogs right here, and then we're going to create accounts for the RSS feeds. Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead and do this real quickly. I'm going to pause the video, and then I'll come back to you when this is done. Alright, so I am verifying emails for the last section, and it's been about 8 minutes, and so far I've created nearly 200 accounts. You can actually log into each one of these accounts individually, and they all work. They're all live accounts. So that's just one of the things that you can do with Magic Submitter. One thing I should mention is that if this is your first time starting up Magic Submitter, I recommend that you build about 6 accounts to start off with. And you'll see why later on. It's because we're actually going to randomize the profiles in which we use to backlink. So when I say 6 different accounts, I mean that you actually go to create a profile, fill profile, and then click OK. And you do that 6 times, okay? All right, so after we have all these profiles created, then we're just gonna click on campaign. Click on create campaign, and then this is what the screen is gonna look like right here. Okay, so we have our money site, and we're gonna add in article directories. We're gonna add 3 blogs right here. We'll link all of these guys to the money site. And then I can align it and make it look nice and pretty. And then after that, I'm going to put bookmarks and RSS feeds. So bookmarks and RSS feeds. Okay. And then those are going to link to the first tier. So now that's all organized, we can start with this campaign. So let's double click on this money site. Okay, from here I'm just going to enter in the keyword as my campaign name, and then for a URL I'll enter in the campaign that I want to backlink. And for keyword spinnable, I'm just going to enter in the keywords that I want to rank for. Okay. Now under anchor text, we're going to actually spin this anchor text, because after penguin, we want this to have a good variation. So I'm going to enter in this bracket, and I'm going to put in my keyword, and I'm going to add this pipe. And if you're wondering what the pipe button is, then if you look at your keyboard and above the enter button, you'll see a backslash with a double line. Well, that double line is a pipe. So one thing I want to do when I'm entering in this anchor text is I'm actually going to spin the main keyword into it 3 times. So I'll go keyword, add another pipe, and then I'd go keyword again. So you're using your main keyword 3 times. What this is going to do is, for anchor variation, it'll give favor to that main keyword. So that main keyword will show up more times. So let's head over to the keyword tool, and under word phrase, we're going to enter in our keyword here. We're going to filter in by exact match. We'll search that. And then we're just going to highlight some of these keywords, and we're going to throw them into our anchor text. I'm going to get rid of this bracket and put in a pipe instead. So I actually want about 7 of these is what I like to go for, and that adds a good amount of anchor variation. Okay, and when I'm done with that, I'm going to end the brackets. All right, for campaign name or campaign description, I'm just going to also put keyword. You can name it whatever you want to. And for spread submission, you can choose the start date whenever you want it to start. I just kind of leave it as it is because I know that I'm going to finish this campaign all in one day. But I spread the submission. I like to spread it over 10 days. So now I'll just click on save. Next, we're going to work on these tiers right here and fill in the content for those. And in order to do that, you're going to want to have some spun content. So first of all, you're going to want to get a 500 word article written. You want this to be a unique article. And then you're going to get that article rewritten twice. After you got it rewritten twice, you're going to spin them all together and you're going to have one really nice spun unique article. Okay. Now, typically I have my VA do all of this work for me, but for a lot of you guys, I know that you don't have VAs. I'm going to show you how you can get this done. So to begin with, you're going to want to find someone to write that 500 word article, or you're going to write it yourself. Either way is fine. It doesn't need to be the best article. You can get a really cheap article and that's fine, and I'll show you why. But we're going to hop on over to fiverr.com and we're going to search for article rewrite. Okay. So we search here, we filter it by rating, and then right off the bat we see a guy like this who says, I will manually rewrite 2 of your articles up to 600 words each for $5. Now say you got a sort of a, not the highest quality article of 500 words. Well, basically, when these English speakers rewrite the article, what you get is you normally end up with a much better article than the original one you ordered. Okay, so once you have these 2 article rewrites and the original, you're just going to search for article spinning. And then basically what I like to do is I'll get the 2 rewrites. I'll get the rewrites spun. Okay. Actually, I don't search article spinning. It's probably better to search the best spinner, because then you'll run into these people that'll actually use the best spinner and will make really decent articles. So I sort by rating. And here you have a guy like this. I will spin 2 articles up to 500 words each for $5. So that's a pretty good deal because you started off with your original article. You got 2 article rewrites for $5, and then you're getting 2 articles spun for another $5. Okay, so once you have these 2 rewrites spun, they're gonna look like this. Okay, so here's one and here's another. Now this is just a sample. These aren't actually really good rewrites that I have here. I just kind of quickly created this using a quick spin on the best spinner, and it wasn't manually done. This is just used for this particular sample so you guys can get an idea of what I do. So now we have these 2 rewrites that are already spun, and what we're going to do is I'm going to take these 2 rewrites and I'm going to combine them into, because normally like your spinners don't do paragraph spinning. Okay, now so what I'm going to do here is I'm going to actually take these 2 rewrites and I'm going to paragraph spin them. And the way that I do that is if I have the best spinner, then I'm just going to select one of these articles, highlight a paragraph and copy it, and then I'll paste it into the best spinner. Okay. Then I'll highlight from the second article rewrite that was spun and copy that. And then I'm gonna highlight, well, first of all, I'm gonna set this to paragraph spin, and I'm gonna highlight that paragraph, enter in the second paragraph here, and click add. If you had a good spun done, then you already had the sentence and word level spun, and now you have the paragraph level spun. So now it's really spun very well, and you're gonna have a really high uniqueness. So next, after I do the title, I'm going to do the same thing with the body and do each and every paragraph until all paragraphs from both article rewrites are completely spun. I've already done this. So in the end, we're going to come up with one big file with everything completely spun. All right, another thing that I should mention is that in this final version of it, I actually organized into a body, and then I had a summary and I had a title. Now the summary, basically all I did was I took the first paragraph and I used that as the summary. Okay, so I have the title, summary, body, and at the end, I created a resource box. So let's head on over to Magic Submitter again, and we'll go to this article directories. We'll double click here, and then now we can just copy and paste information in here. So for the article title, I'm going to head over to this spun article, and I'll highlight the title. I copy it, head back on over, and then I'll paste the title in here. Same thing for the summary. I go over here, highlight that summary, copy it, and paste it in. Again, I'm going to do the same thing for the body. And I'll paste it in. Resource box, copy it, and I'll paste that right there. All right, for the resource box, I know I kind of skipped over this a little bit, but basically I wrote something like in the lines of, for more information, visit this link right here, or something like that. And then I spun that particular phrase. All right, for article keywords, in this box, we're just going to enter in, our keyword and our sub keywords. And then for article body with links, what you want to do here is we want to go to our article. We're going to highlight it again, or just the body of it. All right. Copy that. And then we're going to paste it into here. And what we want to do is we want to actually go back over here and grab the resource box. And we'll grab one of the links here and copy it. And we'll paste it after one of the paragraphs. So right here, here's a paragraph right here. So I'm going to paste that link in right here, and then I might grab the other one. Oops. And I'll find another paragraph to insert in that text. So let's just go towards the bottom here, and we'll put it in right there. Perfect. So now that we're done with this, one other thing I should mention is that with article directories, you can put your link in twice. For Web 2.0 blogs, you can put your link in 3 times. So just keep those numbers in mind. Under here, this is a cool feature that Magic Submitter has. You can choose which profiles you want to submit to. So earlier on, if you remembered, I asked you to create 6 profiles at least if you're just starting, and here's the reason behind it now. We're going to want to click a bunch of these emails right here. We want to use all these different profiles so that Magic Submitter will rotate between profiles when submitting to these services. This adds a good variation and it leaves a much smaller footprint, and it'll be harder to get penalized for this type of link building. Alright, and from here, what you want to do is just go ahead and right click, and then I'll select all the activated ones. We can also organize this by activated ones by clicking right here. And then for everything that's marked in blue, we're going to want to choose a category. So depending on what my keyword is, I'm just going to click here and then choose a category. The cool thing about this is once you've done this once, what you can do is you can save categories right here. And by doing that, next time that you have a very similar niche and you want to backlink to it, then all you have to do is click load categories, and it'll load all those categories down here. For me, I'm just going to do this for one of them for now. Let's say that my keyword happened to deal with business. I'll select that. Let me unselect all for now. But typically you'd want to select every single one. The reason why I unselected it is because I know that if I don't select a category for every single one of these, Magic Submitter is going to turn out an error and it'll say that I have to choose categories. But to save time, I'm just going to do it to one article directory for now. Okay, and one cool thing you can do is you can preview what your article is going to look like. So right here, you can see that we have a nice spun title. We have our article summary. We can click here and it'll come up with a new spin. So new title, new summary. There's the article body without the links. We have our article resource box. And then we have our article body with links. So you have a link here and you have another link here. Okay. Another tip that you can use is if you have sites that are in the same niche, then you can actually put one of the links, say this was keyword1.com, you can link the first one to keyword1.com, and then you can link the second link to another site that you want to rank. So what you're getting is you're getting 2 links out to 2 different sites for each submission that you put. And so that's a good strategy that you should use if you are in the same niche multiple times. Okay. So let's go ahead and close this. And then when we're done with this, all we have to do is click on save. Okay. So now the article directories are done, and now we can move on to blogs. Same thing here. We're just gonna copy in our post title. Oops. We're gonna copy in our post title here. So I grab the title, highlight it, paste it in. Same thing with post summary. I grab my summary, copy it. So all of this is the exact same thing that we did for the articles. Post body. With these Web 2.0 blogs, you're just putting your links within the body. So once again, I'll just grab this body and highlight the entire thing. I'll paste it in here, and then I'm going to grab from my resource box. There's one. There's 2. And like I said, with these Web 2.0 blogs, you can have 3 links on your page here. And maybe I'll put it at the end. If you're in similar niches, then you can post different links for these 3 links right here. They don't have to all go to the same site. You can post links that go to, say if I had farmersfurniture.com, then I can post a link to that. If I had farmersfurnitures.com, then I can post a link to that. And if I also had, bestfarmersfurniture.com, I can post a link to that too. For post name page, that's just going to be my keyword. And we can also spin that. We can have keyword and then put sub keyword. If I can spell. And then maybe have a third one, sub keyword 2, something like that. Okay. Once again, we can select the emails that we want to submit to. For Web 2.0 blogs, though, I'm just going to submit to 2 of these different emails, okay? And I'll show you the reason why soon. So I submit to just 2 of the 6 right here. I select my service that I want to submit to, or all the services. Once again, I can just right click and select all, but for me to save time, I'm just going to select one of them for now. And choose the category. Let's say it's food. Okay, and then I'll click save. All right, now that that's submitted to one of these Web 2.0 blogs, a cool feature that you can do is you just click on your second one and then you just right click and attach existing item. Once you do that, you can find that related article that you posted on that previous one, double click on that, and now what you've noticed is it's already filled in the entire information right here, okay? So we're just going to select 2 other emails that we didn't use in the last Web 2.0 blog. We choose the places that we want to submit to. Once again, I'd probably select all, and then select the category, and then click save. Okay, and that's done. Now we're going to do the exact same thing for the third one. Attach existing item, select the section that we want to use, and then choose 2 more profiles right here. Okay, choose 2 more different profiles that we hadn't used before. And then pick your services and then save. So see how we did that? We just filled in this entire Web 2.0 blogs. After we filled it in once, we only had to just copy it into the second one and copy it into the third one. So really fast. It happens really quickly. All right, so that's how we fill in the tiers with Magic Submitter. Pretty much the exact same thing goes for these bookmarks and RSS. They're pretty self-explanatory. All you have to do is fill in the blanks, the title, description, everything's exactly the same. I'm not going to go over this whole thing again because you pretty much get the point. It's the exact same stuff. And when you're done with that, all you have to do is click on Create Scheduled Tasks, and it will set all of that up for you, and it'll be done all on autopilot.